one of the best games of the year in Baltimore, with Matt Stafford and Los Angeles losing 31-37 on a walk-off punt return. You said, Ziggy, that was the second one of the season?
Their backup returner.
Yeah, no, the second walk-off punt return in overtime this season.
Yeah, remember the Jets-Bills game, week 1. That was nuts. But I remember why I felt bad for the Rams kid who missed the tackle on the punt return for Tylan Wallace, 76-yard punt return for a touchdown. My big takeaway from this game, though, was not related to Baltimore. I actually was watching this thinking to myself, the Rams look really good. And they look, to me, like the 4th best team in the NFC at the moment, behind Philly, Dallas, and San Francisco. With Matt Stafford healthy, Cooper Kupp healthy, Puka Nacua healthy, had an unbelievable catch. Kyron Williams is back. The offense it's crazy how Sean McVay has been able to pull this all together, given how young this team is. And in some ways, similar to the Texans, everyone thought they were just going to suck this year. But Stafford is playing like a top 10 quarterback in football. And when he's on, he's as dangerous as anyone in the NFC, including Jalen Hurts, including Dak, who's playing at an MVP level. With Matthew Stafford looking like this, I would not want to draw the Rams by any means in a playoff game. The concern I have, though, and this is exactly what we said on last week's show, they're playing so well, but just with the way that their schedule falls out, they still go to San Francisco, and the hope is in that game that San Francisco's maybe resting people. I think they're going to win their next 3, lose to San Fran, and miss out on the playoffs, like just barely.
I think the good news for the Rams, though, so I agree, they've got 3 relatively straightforward wins, and let's say they lose to San Francisco. Mm-hmm. The other teams in the NFC shouldn't be scaring you that much.
No,
obviously the Cowboys have a spot, so that's knocked off, or the Eagles, whoever wins that division. But the Vikings have a million injuries again.
That team is so freaking bad.
The Packers are up and down, but even if they're up, there's still a spot left. The NFC South is a dumpster fire. The Seahawks can't win a game. And the Seahawks have a tough schedule left. So if you're the Rams, if you can, I think you're in your destiny here. You control it. All you got to do is just win the games that you ought to win. Let things ride, and you'll make the playoffs.
So I'm saying for the Rams to not make the playoffs, I'm essentially saying that the Vikings will go 3-1 at Cincinnati, hosting Detroit, hosting Green Bay, at Detroit. And if I'm being if I'm going to try and be reasonable here,
there's a world there that with that schedule that they're 3-1.
Well, no, the Vikings could do that, but if I'm trying to be realistic and honest with my take, I love the Vikings. It's more likely we get the Rams in. It just has to be, right?
And frankly, for the sake of the football watching community, I'd rather get the Rams win.
Oh, well, look, dude, the game was horrible. What are we? We're 7-6. They're 6-7 right now. I think the Vikings own the tiebreaker, right?
Yeah, well, maybe if the Vikings have been record than the Rams, we'll put the Rams in anyway because they're better be better game.
Oh, yeah. Go to a committee.
Let's just do that. We'll go to a committee.
So if we had we're a game up right now. Yeah, I think we're gonna beat Detroit at home. I'm gonna stick with my Vikings take for now, but I think the Rams are a really dangerous team, and it's one of the best coaching performances in football too from Sean McVay, and that they've done a great job with Stafford, and they're a Stafford injury this season away from definitely being a playoff team.
I mean, we said this before the season. I remember Ziggy was saying the Rams were a plus 1,000 about to win the NFC West. And that was
a little tongue in cheek when Ziggy said that.
But talking about the Rams being a decent team, when you have a good quarterback who is capable enough to win a Super Bowl, and you have some good weapons, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua is
great
stepped up and been great.
Great weapons.
Good run game with Kyron Williams. But Stafford in particular, when you have a quarterback of that caliber and he's healthy and he's playing to his potential, this is a team who they showed it today, despite the loss, could beat probably anybody in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's not many teams out there, especially in the NFC, who are like that.
Oh, and we look at the wild card teams that they're competing with. Seattle, no. The Vikings, no. The Packers, they are clearly the best out of that group.
I mean, that Puka Nacua had a grab today on the sideline, a diving catch.
Unbelievable.
It was unbelievable, but no one really ever talked about the throw. The throw that Stafford made was freaking yes. Unreal. Not many QBs can make that throw. But they looked awesome today. Baltimore took a lead, that Zay Flowers touchdown, 2-point conversion, 40 seconds left. And the Rams go right down the field, a few end zone shots to win it, end up settling for a game-winning field goal. But that was a loud stadium today. Baltimore was playing well, and the Rams were punch for punch.
Yeah, and the good thing about the Rams is the young defense hasn't been nearly the disaster people thought it would. Right? I'm not saying this defense has been lights out, but the Ravens threw everything they had at Aaron Donald to neutralize him today, and they succeeded. Right? I don't know what Aaron Donald did, but he didn't show up on the stat line. I'm not sure if he generated a single pressure. Maybe it was just one. But everyone else was able to step up, right? Guys like Ernest Jones were able to step in and get pressure, get sacks, make Lamar Jackson uncomfortable. And who knows what would have happened if things had kept going on that drive and the Ravens offense had to step out. But the Rams defense played all right against one of the most difficult to defend offenses in the NFL. So things have been okay for them.
And also, I mean, look at overtime today. Baltimore comes out, they get the ball, and the Rams D gets a stop. Like, they had a chance to go and win that game.
Like, right now, if the Rams go to, who would it be? Detroit or New Orleans, whoever it may be. I pick the Rams in that game at this point in time.
I think I would take the Rams probably over anybody right now in the playoffs besides the two guys at the top, Philly or San Francisco.
Dallas.
Well, they wouldn't play Dallas. That would be.
Oh, okay. You're saying the first.
Well, maybe they play. Say Dallas wins the division.
Yeah,
You're not taking the Rams over Dallas.
No, then I'd probably take Dallas. Yeah, I'd take Dallas.
Yeah,
I would take the East winner in San Francisco, but I might take the Rams over Detroit now too.
Yeah, I think that would Detroit. We'll get to them in just a second.
Stafford's revenge. That'd be an awesome game.
Ziggy said last week what's really funny about the Rams and Lions situation is that if you flip the quarterbacks again, it might work out for each franchise going forward. Like the Rams kind of get a younger quarterback who they could try and build around. I don't think Goff. I'm not really sold on him, but Stafford in Detroit would be perfect right now. I mean, that's a Super Bowl. Like, he elevates them to another level.
That could be a Super Bowl favorite.